All right, hello once again. This is Jeff Scott of Rankin Technical College, and as part of the Rankin Technical College AWD, or Application and Website Development Program, and in particular the AWD1112 Application Programming with Java class, I've been doing a series of video presentations. I have gone through all 23 chapters of the APRES text, Java Quick Syntax Reference, and soon I'm going to be starting on an online text, which is Android Developer Fundamentals version 2. All right, and it is basically created by the Google Developers Training Team and was last updated September of 2018. My guess is this is somewhere in the neighborhood of 500 pages. So we'll start on that soon. But before we do, I've decided to come in and at least attempt to do some Java programs for you. So I have started up Android Studio, and I'm going to start a new Android Studio project. It will be empty. I'm going to just call these, for lack of better words, Java Practice Programs. All right, I think that'll be fine. Okay, I'm looking in here. I want it on the desktop. Yeah, the minimum, that's not even really going to matter. So finish. And that should bring a new project, a new Android Studio project, up on my screen. All right. Now it'll take a while. It's got to go in sync and do a lot of other things. And again, we will, believe it or not, eventually start writing some Android in here. But I want to let the system start, get its stuff together, so to speak. And right now I'm going to write a few very simplistic Java programs for you. I'm going to write about 3 or 4 that are pretty simple. And each one will have its own recording. And after I do that, then I'm going to write a few that are going to be much more complex. All right, looks like everything's good here. So, there's my app. Somewhere in here, Java. I don't want res. What are we doing here? Main activity. I think I'm going to try it right here. All right. Practice programs. I'm going to come in here and try this at least. New, and I'm just going to create, rather than a Java class, it was suggested that we come in here and underneath here do a file, new, and get a new module. All right, and then come in and say Java library, next, and I'm going to try to call this Java Payroll examples. All right, and the first one, I think I'm going to come in here and I'm going to call the class for the first one Payroll. Oopsie, sorry. Payroll01. All right, I think that'll work. Finish. All right, now I want to see if it's done what I think it's going to do. I don't need this anymore, nor do I need this. I'm hoping that somewhere underneath here it built that. Now I went through this before, and I guess I'm just kind of ignorant. Not kind of, I am ignorant to the process here. Java Payroll examples, Java Payroll01. There we go. All right, so I'm going to come in here and attempt to write a very simple payroll program. Okay, in fact, let's put a comment at the very top. Let's make this a multi-line comment. All right, and this will be called Java Payroll Program number 1. For this first Java payroll program, I will hard code all of the values for each of the program variables. this program is being written to begin to show the viewer how to create Java programs. Good news, this series of Java payroll programs will begin to show the viewer how to write Java. Bad news, with this first program, as all of the values are hard-coded, every time that the program runs, the output will be the same. Okay, so take a gander at that, so to speak, and I'll leave it up there for just a second. All right, and let's come in here and let's write some code. Okay, now for the first few examples, all we're going to have is a main. So I'm going to say PSVM and public static void main, so that created the main for us. I'm going to hit enter a few times. There we go. Just so I'm at the top. I didn't have to do that, and I'm going to put some comments in here too. Begin my public static void main string bracket bracket args, and now if nothing else, I'm probably going to over comment right now, just so you're aware of that, so you've been warned, for lack of better words. All right, so let's come in here and let's declare and initialize, I'm going to say local variables. And they're local because they're all being initialized inside of a method, that method being main. Had they been declared out here, and had I had additional methods, they'd be global variables. But we're going to make, I don't know, about 10 of them, maybe a little less. String, first name, you've already been warned, equals Jeff. Let's make it Jeffrey. And I'll put here employee, first name. I'm going to make a char here, and I'm going to call this MI for middle initial. And my middle initial is P. So employee, middle initial, string, last name, employee last name, byte, just so I can show you, some different kinds. Age equals 63. Employee age. Now that could have just as easily been an int, a short, a long, etc. Boolean is union equal false. Ints employee number equals, I don't even know if I have a number here, but I'm making that one up. And as you'll find, if you haven't already, I'm a little anal about certain things, so there we go. All right. Double hours worked, we'll say equal, let's make it 40.0, employee hours worked, hourly rate, we'll set that equal to 25. And gross pay. For now, we'll set that equal to 0. And that will be hours worked times hourly rate. Okay. All right. Let me move this over a bit. There we go. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. The first name, the last name are both strings, so they must be delimited by double quotes. The middle initial is a char, so it must be delimited by single quotes. All right. The age is a byte, which is a very, very small integer. No quotes. The employee number also, this technically could have been a string. Probably should have been a string. In fact, let's make it a string. Why would I want to make that a string? Because technically, the only types of fields that you should make numeric are fields that could conceivably be used inside of a calculation, and that wouldn't be. All right. The is union is a Boolean, meaning it can only be true or false. And the hours worked, hourly rate, and gross pay are doubles, meaning they can have a decimal place. All right. So I've created all my variables. Now basically all I want to do is print them out. So print out everything above. How about declared and initialized above. There we go. And these will be a bunch of S outs. And to make it simple on myself, there's all 9. Okay. And when I'm done, that'll be the end of the program. So, employee first name, employee middle initial. Trying to line these up so they look a little bit decent. Again, this isn't by any means is this going to look perfect. We'll call it payroll number. That was what, imp number. Now, probably, since I'm talking about employees here, it might have been a better idea to call this emp first name, emp middle initial, emp last name, emp age. By no means do you have to do this. Emp is union. Now I've got emp number, emp hours worked, emp hourly rate. These will all be wrong now because I'll have to change them in a minute. And emp gross pay. Now, the reason I'm bringing this up is notice what I'm bringing into the program now. Some consistency, for lack of better words. Everything is starting with emp, whether that's a good thing or a bad thing. Notice too, these are all gray except this one, because that's actually correct. So I'm going to have to make all these changes. Emp first name, emp middle initial, emp last name, emp age, emp is union. There, that didn't take long. All right, I got my last three to do here. Employee hours worked, employee hourly rate, and finally the gross pay. Oops. All right, and then just taking like the 35,000 foot view of this, what do we have? 9 variables that we are both. This right here is a declaration. Once you put this in, it becomes both a declaration and an initialization. All right, so what should print out here is employee first name Jeffrey, employee middle init P, employee last name Scott, employee current age 63, employee union status false, employee payroll number 12345, employee hours worked 40.0, employee hourly rate 25.0, employee gross pay, well, that right now is going to print out as 0. So what I really should do here is change this. Now, I could do it right here, or I could do it down below, and I could just come in and say, calculate employee gross pay as hours worked. Let's just do it like this. Times hourly rate. So gross pay, it's emp gross pay, equals emp hourly rate. Doesn't matter which one we do first. I guess we did hours worked first here when we declared them, times emp hourly rate. Okay? So it should multiply those two together and say employee gross pay 1,000. All right, we don't have to do this, but I can put myself a nice little dollar sign there. Didn't have to do that. We could do the same thing for rate if indeed we wanted to. So I'm going to do a file, tell it to save all, and I'm going to run the program by clicking up here and clicking on the arrow. All right. I don't think there'll be any errors in here. Let's look at our output over here. All this stuff here where it says running tasks and it's syncing and load building and the like, these are all Android things. Once we get to where we're writing Android code, this will become very second nature to you. But I believe, and I could be wrong here, this is the first semester I decided to actually try to just write straight Java and write it under Android Studio. And that's why I think it's taking a little bit longer. Alright, it says build successfully completed, but it's not giving me any output. Your antivirus program might be impacting this. See, don't show again. Not sure. I'm trying to figure out why I'm getting no output. My build output is right here, and these are just times, so. Well, something is definitely goofed up here. There's my log cat, yeah. Here's my build. There's terminal, which I wouldn't need. There's a to-do list. But usually I get my stuff right here, and it's not, it is building it, but it's not giving me any output. So I'll have to look at that and see if I can figure out why that's happening. I just told it to run it right from main here. Okay, maybe that's not the best of things. But this was my output. Kind of hard to see. So I'm copying it, and I'm going to show it right here. There it is. So, first name, middle initial, last name, age, union status, payroll number, hours worked, and hourly rate. Finally, the gross pay. Alright, not sure again why I had to do that to get it to work, but it works, so that's the most important thing. Now, what's bad, so to speak, about this, what's bad, if you'd call it that, is the fact that every time I run it, I'm getting the same output. That's not what I'd want. So I'm going to grab everything that's in here, copy it, alright, then I'm going to come in here and I'm going to right mouse click and choose New, Java class, and I'm going to call this Payroll02. It'll be a class, not a super class, not anything else. It's in this package. I'm going to click OK, and I'm going to just go and grab everything I had in the previous example, copy it in here. Now I'm going to get some errors because I didn't really want either of these in there. Alright. So now I've got the exact same program in there twice, but I'll come back and fix it and show you one of two ways that I can elicit input from the user, and I'll do that in just a couple minutes.